Today, we're going on an absolutely incredible journey. We're diving deep into the most complex, most fascinating machine ever created, your own body. We're about to uncover the amazing biological story that's happening inside you every single second of every day. So let me ask you, how well do you really know all the miracles that are taking place inside you right now? I mean, from the very first spark of life to the unbelievably complex command center that's running the whole show, the details are just staggering. So let's start at the very beginning. Our story begins with just a single cell. It's this tiny, microscopic tale about a perfectly timed journey that, if everything goes right, changes absolutely everything. And you know what? It all hinges on one very, very specific day. So what's with the number 14? Well, inside the precise rhythm of the menstrual cycle, day 14 is a huge moment. It's the approximate day that ovulation happens, which sets the entire stage for life to begin. It's go time. And the key player in this whole process is a structure called the Graafian follicle. The best way to think about it is like a launch pad. It's the one mature follicle that gets the signal, ruptures, and releases an egg, making fertilization even possible. So once that egg is released, it starts its big journey. And this is not just some lazy float down a river. Oh no, it's an active transport system. It gets gently swept along by these tiny hair-like things called cilia and pushed by these rhythmic muscle squeezes. They're called peristaltic contractions, all the way through the oviduct. And here's the thing. Fertilization doesn't just happen anywhere. There is a prime location, a VIP section for this all-important meeting. The most common spot for this incredible event to happen is in a specific part of the oviduct called the ampulla. That's where the sperm and egg are most likely to finally meet. Okay, so once fertilization happens, the story shifts gears into a 9-month journey of development. And this entire incredible process is orchestrated by a really powerful and precise hormonal system. Let's meet the two superstars of this show. This shows the hormonal balancing act perfectly. On one hand, you've got progesterone. Think of it as the maintainer. Its whole job is to keep the pregnancy stable from the very beginning to the very end. Then, on the other hand, you have oxytocin, the contractor. It just chills out for 9 months and then bam, it surges to get labor started. Two totally different jobs, but both are absolutely essential. So from the beginning of life, we're now going to jump to the system that runs your body every single second of the day, your command center, the nervous system. This is the amazing, intricate network that controls literally everything you do, everything you think, and everything you feel. First up, the number 12. What's that about? Well, this represents the 12 pairs of cranial nerves. You can think of them as direct data cables from your brain to your head, neck, and torso. They control everything from your sight and smell to your facial expressions and even your heart rate. Now, let's contrast that with the number 31. This is the number of pairs of spinal nerves. So if the cranial nerves are the direct lines, these are the cables that branch off your spinal cord, carrying all the messages between your brain and the rest of your body, your arms, your legs, your skin, your organs. So 12 pairs for the top, 31 for everything else. The cerebrum, the biggest part of your brain, is split into different lobes. You've got the parietal, temporal, and occipital. But what about the zygomatic lobe? If you've never heard of that one, there's a really good reason why. It doesn't exist. The zygomatic is actually your cheekbone. It's just a fun little trick to remember. It's not part of the brain. Okay, here is a critical, and I mean critical, anatomical landmark. The spinal cord doesn't actually run the entire length of your spine. In adults, it stops right around the second lumbar vertebra, or L2. Now, why is that one little detail so important? Well, it matters for procedures just like this one. Because the cord ends at L2, medical professionals know that the safest possible spot to do a lumbar puncture, you might know it as a spinal tap, is way lower down, between L4 and L5. This makes sure they can get to the cerebrospinal fluid without any risk of damaging the spinal cord itself. It is a perfect example of anatomy in action. All right, let's head over to the body's engine room. This is where the heart and lungs are working nonstop, 24/7, pumping blood and delivering fresh oxygen to every last cell in your body. Have you ever stopped to wonder how the heart, the pump for the entire body, gets its own fuel? Well, the heart's very own blood supply comes directly from the ascending aorta, which is the massive artery leaving the heart. It basically serves itself first, making sure it has all the energy it needs to keep everything else running smoothly. You know, some medical terms can sound really intimidating, but a lot of the time, they're just simple descriptions. Take pneumothorax. Let's just break it down. Pneumo means air, and thorax means chest. So pneumothorax is literally air in the chest. Specifically, it's air in the space around the lungs, which can cause a lung to collapse. See? Simple once you know the pieces. And for our final section, let's just run through a few more of anatomy's fascinating facts. These are the kinds of details that have real-world importance in medicine every single day. Here is a super practical piece of medical knowledge for you. When a doctor or nurse has to give an intramuscular injection in the gluteal region, there is a very specific safe zone. The upper outer quadrant is the go-to spot because it avoids hitting any major nerves and blood vessels, like the really big sciatic nerve. Next up, let's talk about the spermatic cord. It's this bundle of tubes and vessels, and it includes the testicular artery and something called the pampiniform plexus, which is a cool network of veins that helps regulate temperature. It passes through the inguinal canal, and this is a crucial point. It is a structure that is only found in males. From a single cell all the way to a complex command center, the human body is just this endless story of incredible design and function. And honestly, we've only just scratched the surface today. So the real question isn't what we've learned, but what chapter of this incredible story are you going to go explore next?